and Josh Moore, who I requested from FAU, is coming. He's got big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Because who did we have last week? We have Federico last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was
Federico
phenomenal.
last week.
Hey,
It is Josh Moore. How are you, man?
good. How are y'all?
We are fantastic. I'm AJ. That is Play Action Real. He's got to go by an alias. I don't know why. I don't ask questions.
Yeah, I don't want nobody knowing my real name, yo.
I feel you.
So how you doing, man? I requested you specifically. FAU tells me initially we requested J-Mo, and he came on, and we had a lot of fun with J-Mo.
Yeah.
And we requested Bert, and we had a lot of fun. And then FAU started telling me, they said, look, you might like this guy. But I see you on social media. You're the only guy who has a social media presence on that entire team that I found so far. And I like you on Instagram. And I'm like, I got to get this guy on because he's doing something on social. So,
Yeah, thank you. I just, I try my best to like make football comedic for anybody out there. It can be for NFL guys that are just starting to play football, 8 or 9-year-olds. Doesn't really matter. I just try to make stuff that anybody can watch and enjoy.
and that's what I like too, is it's family friendly sort of content where if the kids that are just starting out watch it, at least what I've seen is family friendly. If the kids starting out playing Pee Wee watch it, I mean, you seem like a guy that they can look up to at this point, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just try to be a good role model. Like I started back when I was a freshman in college because I was just really bored during summer workouts because you had maybe one class and you were just sitting there all day. So I'm like, okay, I'll make some videos with some of my teammates, and then just kind of kept at it. And I guess the followers kind of grow, but like you still feel like the same person. Like you're just trying to connect with the community and just connect with other creators.
Are you monetized on IG yet? I know you got 175,000 followers, I think, something like
more
that.
than that.
Yeah, it's monetized to where like if brands want to come partner with you, they can like DM you and little things like that. And if you get a certain amount of views, like they'll maybe pay you for that on both TikTok and Instagram.
Oh, I don't know if we're following you on TikTok. I got to.
Oh, we got to get him on TikTok. That's all there is. Yeah. I mean, if you do some stuff like that, we got to get you on TikTok. I'm looking.
So,
Yeah.
look, man, I ain't going to talk about football hardly at all because I'm not the X's and O's guys. He may ask you a couple of football questions, but we're kind of just sort of get to know you a little bit. So here's what we found out: you do have a big social media presence, but you don't have like J-Mo. We got spoiled. We Googled this dude, and we found hours and hours and hours worth of stuff on J-Mo. I couldn't find much on. Here's what I know. You're from Atlanta or the Atlanta area, correct?
Yes, sir.
You went out to UCLA, which I'm going to ask you a little bit about that, right? You redshirted, which means you didn't play for that year at UCLA, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then you headed back east.
Yes, sir. It is FAU.
All right, so here's my first question. I'll shut up and I'll let Play Action ask some questions too. But how did you like? Because I'm an East Coast guy. You're an East Coast guy. You go out to California. I went out to California for a few years. How did you like it? What was your experience in LA and in Westwood specifically?
I really liked it. Like, of course, California is probably the most expensive place I've ever been in my life. Like groceries, gas, insane. But like, just like the landscape, the people, it was just really nice. And of course, like I was privileged because I was on scholarship there. So I didn't have to worry about trying to pay for an apartment in Westwood. I know that that's probably really tough for some college students there, but it was really cool. Like it didn't rain a ton like it does here in Florida, or it wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. It's just I understand why people like to move to Southern California.
Did you sense like to me, everything has a feeling. I don't know if this makes sense, but things feel like something to me. Like a game at FAU Stadium will feel completely different than any other game at any other stadium.
Mm-hmm.
When I moved to California, it just had a different vibe. It had a different feeling. I'm from the Northeast. You're from the Atlanta area. The Atlanta area, things move fast, even though it's the South. The Northeast, I mean, we talk fast, we move fast, we go fast, we drive everything fast. And in California, it was just so like chill. Like it was too chill for me, if that makes sense. Did you get any sort of that vibe, or it might have been different? Because
I definitely felt that. It definitely felt very mellow, especially when I went home. I was like, oh my gosh, the world is so different. Like I'm like brainwashed into like what Southern California is, and now I'm like back in Atlanta and down at FAU. I'm like, wow, it was definitely like a privilege to be able to go out there and experience that. Maybe I want to go visit there sometime in the future for sure.
Jeff,
I found out you're definitely a hard worker, and I think that's what it is at FAU. Everybody has to be a hard worker under this coach, and I'm curious because you turned down some big schools. You obviously went to UCLA. You turned down, I think, USC, even Stanford.
did I see Yale too?
I want to say Yale, Air Force. You turned down some spots. What was UCLA all about for you? What did I shine for you over there?
I think I just really wanted a different feel. I wanted to go to a school at UCLA that was in the like not in the middle of a city, but like had that like urban feel. So I think that's really what it was. UCLA had great academics, which was always key for me. Like my top schools are always USC, UCLA, Notre Dame, Duke, Northwestern. It's like really high academic schools. So when I came out of high school, that's like I was kind of looking at those, and then I just ended up being like LA is a place for me, and that's why I chose to go there.
Beautiful. And speaking of academics, because I got to follow up FAU. Everybody we've talked to, they're absolutely brilliant, and they're studying. I didn't catch what are your studies, major or whatever?
I'm studying business economics.
Yes.
So what does that mean? What do you want to do after football with business economics?
Well, I'm slated right now to graduate either in the spring or the summer, and then I want to go ahead and start and get my MBA. And I'm pretty sure I want to get it in finance. Like I'd love to work in sports. I know FAU has a good sports management program, but I'm still leaning towards getting it in finance. And then I want to work in private equity or at a hedge fund. That's kind of my goal. But also, if I could figure out a way to get into like the front office of a sports team and work on the financial side there, I think that would be great for me too.
So, dude, I got to tell you something. How old are you? Are you 22?
20 years old.
20 years old. All right. In the blink of an eye, you'll be 50. Trust me, because my brain sometimes still thinks I'm 20. And then I go hit the gym and I try to do something and everything hurts. I'm broken down for a week and I'm in traction. I did not have my head or my act together at all when I was 20 years old. I didn't get it together until I was 30.
Way to go.
And way to go. Yeah. Thanks for the accolades there. But I'm saying this because every single guy that we've talked to, and J-Mo, Bert, you, Federico, Jackson Ambush, you guys all have it together. I mean, where does that come from? Does it come from your family? Did I just come from a really crappy family? And still, like, you know what I mean? Get you. All I cared about was going out and drinking and partying, and you guys. I'm sure you like to have fun, but you guys just seem so different. Where does that come from?
I think my parents, like the number one thing they instilled in me was getting a good education, and I think everything else kind of stems from that. Like I've always just wanted to be the best, compete in the classroom, compete on the field. And then I think also social media kind of is starting to instill that in people because everybody's like looking at what everybody else is doing, and people are starting younger and younger, starting businesses and growing up and doing all these business ventures. So everybody kind of feels the pressure to be like, okay, I got to figure this out younger and younger. So I think it's a combination of those things.
Yeah, well said. Well said. So back to football. I noticed you come from UCLA. Numbers are important to me, and I want to know how important your number. You were number 11. You come over to Florida, and you're number 10. Was that a big deal, or Are you going to have to like fight for number 11? What's going on with that?
It wasn't a super huge deal to me. Like I would have loved to come here and have been number 11, but my guy Justin McKitchen was already here and he was already number 11. So I kind of just like I got here, they gave me 10. I'm like, all right, I can live with that because 10 was one of the numbers I liked in high school too. I just ended up being 11, but it wasn't a huge big deal. It wasn't a huge deal for me.
Well, there you go. And does that also mean like other sports? You ever play any other sports? With, doesn't seem like the number was important. Did you play baseball, basketball, or anything?
I played basketball up until freshman year, and they actually let me wear number 1, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I got to lead the team a little bit, but then after that, I just did a little bit of track, and obviously they don't do numbers there.
Oh no, but wow, track. Okay, and I'm telling you, been sniffing around, and I get the sense that you played a little receivers. I mean, I think that those days might be over, but you have the longest arms. Any thoughts of maybe dabbling in receiver if they need you? Or?
His longest arms. You found the.
He's got some long arms. You got to reach.
All right.
Yeah, if they ever ask me to play receiver, I mean, I could go catch a few deep balls. I think I was really good at it in high school because like I wanted to be a receiver initially, but I ended up getting like more time playing DB, and I kind of fell in love with that. But I had some offers out of high school at receiver too.
I can see you going both ways, though. It doesn't happen, but some of the scouting reports on you were talking about how well you played receiver, and it translated so well to safety, how you could basically close the gap. And I know that comes from that experience. Is that something you kind of take with you in safety?
Yeah, I kind of viewed it when I first started playing DB as I'm playing as a receiver on defense. Like I feel like I would kind of run the routes for the receivers. Like I'd see the concept and get there before the quarterback could get there and the receiver could get there.
I love it.
All right, so I'm going to go back to LA in a couple of minutes with you, but I want to ask you. So coming over here to FAU, and then a guy like J-Mo coming in also. So you guys both first year at FAU. Obviously, it's his last year playing. We're big J-Mo fans. I mean, he's a really nice guy. He's a smart guy. He's a good family man, and the dude is damn good on the football field.
Yeah.
How much does he influence you? Do you guys work together? Have you picked things up from him? Has he picked things up from you? What's your relationship like with him, and how good is he from a peer's perspective? And if you say he's garbage, we won't tell him.
J-Mo is a great safety. He like a lot of people want to underestimate him because maybe he's not 6'4", 210. Like he's just not built like that. He's a good cover guy. He's great in the post. He's great at tracking the ball. I think like the whole safety room really looks up to J-Mo because he can he'll explain some things to us. Him and some other veteran guys in our group like Armani and Draco, they all like explain stuff to us, and they're just really great guys to have around. They're good presence. Like they have their head on straight, and you can always trust them in the back end.
Will you all miss him next season?
Absolutely. Like he came in and this has been like a really fiery presence. Makes some great jokes. He's great to have in the meeting room. We'll definitely miss him, but I know we'll bring in some new freshmen, and we'll have to just carry those lessons that J-Mo brought on to those new guys.
Do you think J-Mo is J-Mo going to be playing on Sundays next year? Do you think?
I believe he will. That's my opinion. Like I've seen guys play in the league like from UCLA. Like I know what like league talent looks like, and I think he's going to be that guy.
I agree. I'm no expert. I'm no scout, but J-Mo is everywhere, all the time, on every defensive play. He's all over the place. But let's go back to LA for a minute. All right, give me your best LA story. You must have done something. You must have went somewhere. I mean, you get to LA where you're like big eyes, like, oh my God, I'm in Hollywood. I'm in Los Angeles. Where are the Kardashians? I mean, where did you go first? What were you looking for? Did you run into anyone? super famous? Did you get on the movie lots? Were you an extra in something?
You go to In-N-Out Burger.
Everybody goes to In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest
it's
things
everywhere now.
I got to do was like when my whole freshman class got there, we were kind of alone there for the summer because not a lot of people are on campus during the summer. So we used to rent little the scooters because there's scooters all around Westwood in the city.
Mm-hmm.
We would rent those and go all the way up like the Bel Air hills of like the houses. Like we'd ride all the way up those hills and then just ride all the way down as fast as we could. And
That's so cool.
that's probably kind of dangerous because we were going probably like 30 something on those scooters. And those are some tight corners you got to turn, but that's just something I remember because it was just real fun that I did with some of my friends there.
Favorite Los Angeles restaurant or place to eat?
Ooh. I mean, I didn't get much out of Westwood because I didn't have a car and I really was not trying to Uber, spend $30-$40, but I loved going to BJ's. It's down by the movie theater. They have these things called Pazookies where it's like cookies with ice cream and like whipped cream on top of them. So everybody would go down on, I think like Tuesday is Pazookie Tuesday, and it'd be like cheaper that day. So we'd all ride the scooters down, go get us a Pazookie and chill out there.
There was when I lived out there, I was out there 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. In Westwood, there was this place right on, I don't remember the name of the streets. It's right on, what is the road that runs into Beverly Hills and then runs into Santa Monica, I guess is where it would go, or maybe it's not Santa Monica Boulevard. What comes after Santa Monica Boulevard?
I know there's Sunset there. Like Sunset's like on the edge of campus.
That's amazing.
It might be Sunset, but there was a place called Saks, SACH. It was an Asian place, a restaurant. The best chicken teriyaki balls ever. I used to have an office in the Beverly Hills area, and we had an assistant. We would just send them to Saks and just bring us these teriyaki balls, and we would load the refrigerator up, and every day they'd be gone. We'd send them for like 20, 30 bowls, and the next day it would be empty. The whole place would just wipe these teriyaki balls out. It was so good. I mean, it was heartbreaking when I found out the place was good. That's why I have no reason to go back to LA now. So, what do you? Two more LA questions, and I'll give it back to you, Play Action. So when you're real brief on me, obviously I'm a big sports guy. That's why I'm involved in a sports network. But where I come from in the Northeast is completely different from where you're from in the Southeast. We don't pay attention to college sports in the Northeast. It's professional sports. So the very first full, complete college football game I ever saw was your game against Monmouth this year, where I was on the sidelines covering it.
Real talk.
I did, yeah, real talk. So there's some things that I'm learning. It's like the NIL. I kept calling it nil, and everybody's looking at me like, "What the hell is nil?" And I'm like, nil, where you make money. And they're like, "That's NIL, dumbass." And I'm like, "Oh, all right. Well, I thought it was a word." So
that's okay. It's new to everybody.
You're red-shirted. So when you're red-shirted as a freshman at UCLA, do you still suit up and go to the games, but you can't play? Or are you on the sideline of the games, or do you not get to go to the games at all?
So it really depends on the school. Like, it might be different. I think it's a little bit different here at FAU versus UCLA. But when you're redshirted, you're allowed to play up to 4 games. So it's kind of like some coaches like plan it ahead, like, okay, we're gonna redshirt these guys. Other coaches are like, okay, they played in their 4 games. If we need them in like a 5th, 6th, or 7th game, then they won't redshirt you. But you can play up to 4 games, and usually you're suited out on the sideline, like full gear.
So what's it like walking into the Rose Bowl for the first time? Because that's where UCLA plays their home games, correct?
Yes.
Well, I mean, because it's a historic. I mean, it's massive. What's it feel like walking into that place for you for the very first time? And if you got to play in a game in the Rose Bowl, what was that like?
Just walking in, like the environment is just insane. Like my favorite like bowl game growing up was the Rose Bowl. Like I don't know why I was just so obsessed with the Pac-12. Probably because it was so far away. It seems so like unattainable. Because like obviously I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, so I'm like watching straight SEC. But like whenever I did get a chance, I'd watch some Pac-12 football. So walking in that Rose Bowl, seeing the mountains in the distance is just crazy. It's a crazy feeling. And while I didn't get to play in any games in the Rose Bowl, like I think it was game 4 my freshman year, we played LSU and we beat LSU. I think that was Coach O's last year, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was amazing. That was just crazy. There was probably like 20, 30,000 LSU fans there. They were just shocked, and it was just
Yeah, how packed was the stadium packed for that game?
yeah. I'd say there's probably 60-something thousand there, maybe 70.
It is. I've never been in the Rose Bowl. I've been outside of it. It is a gorgeous. I mean, play action. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but I mean, it's in Pasadena, right? Is that where it is? The Rose Bowl? It's
Yeah.
in Pasadena, and it's kind of like the racetrack is the same way. I think it's Santa Anita that's out there, and it's just the mountains, and it's so unbelievably beautiful. I felt like throwing in a football, but it was an LA sort of thing. I would think that here's my biggest problem with FAU, and I freaking love you guys. I love the team. When you lose, I lose. I'm depressed. I'm going home.
He is.
I'm kicking the dog, all that sort of stuff. My dog's in bad shape, so you guys got to pull it out. I actually have faith. No, I'm just kidding. I would never kick the dog.
We're calling somebody about that.
What bothers me, and it's not just me, because other players that we've had on have said, yeah, you know what, it could be, but we wish you had more people in the stands. Because I know that when you walk into it, because you said, I don't remember your exact words, but you said it has a feeling when you walk into a place and the place is packed and you got 50, 60, 70,000 people there, it just feels different, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does.
And you play a little bit
hard thing to make happen.
But you play a little bit, like, not that you don't play hard, and I'm not talking about you specifically, but any player. When you have a big crowd like that, and even if they're against you, it's got to motivate you a little bit to just like go a little bit harder, or go a little bit faster. Or am I right or wrong? If I'm wrong, tell me.
Yeah, like for instance, like we traveled to Clemson this year, completely packed. And so you could feel like you could feel like the energy. It was tangible. Like you could reach out and grab it. You were like, wow, yeah, this is something. Okay. So like I would love to bring something like that back to FAU. We could get the stadium packed. I mean, I would do everything in my power to make that happen. We just gotta get all the Boca locals, maybe some Fort Lauderdale people, some Miami people to come up and come to the games.
I know. So Coach Herman and I, on one of his Zoom Monday press conferences, talked about this a few weeks back. And he said, he's like, we need some people. Does anybody know, like Pitbull or somebody that we can get to the game to bring people out? And I know that Kodak Black has been out twice, and they did the big thing this past Saturday. But still, it was like, it was sad. And now here's something, because again, I'm learning about college sports, right? The basketball game last night, they dropped 100. I know a lot more about college basketball than I do football. What I didn't know is I had seen that people were camped out outside the arena the night before to get good seats, I guess, or to secure their seat. Yeah. But what I didn't know is that their arena only holds 3,000 people.
Yeah, their arena's like a big high school gym, pretty much.
That's nuts. You need to put a basketball court on the football field and let them play in there. Maybe do a double header. You guys put first. You know, like they take a hockey rink and turn it into a basketball. They do the same thing on the field. But we need people there, man. It's my mission of this year. Well, obviously we only have one game left this year, but next year we're gonna get a lot of people out there. I am good at promoting and making stuff happen. We will rally people. I don't care. We'll give away $100 bill. We'll get a printer. I know a printer. If we can print the $100 bill, we'll do something. But we got to get people there. Hey, Jeff, just me rambling. But go ahead, Jeff. Talk to him.
And I loved like AJ was saying, some of your Instagram posts, and you're great, doing some of the imitations of when you got like a 4-star quarterback versus like a no-star cute or no-star wide receiver, like that was just the best. And I kind of messed around and I found you on TikTok like retirement. And are you? I was just curious. You a little bit into anime or anything?
Yeah, yeah. I do watch like a bit of anime. I watch a bit of everything though too, like Game of Thrones. Just finished Attack on Titan. I like just a lot of genres.
That's good. That's good. Well rounded. I know my son. He's like totally into it, and I gotta stay on top. So you can help me talk some stuff to my kid, right? Like what's hot right now? Is it still Demon Slayer or what is it? Is it what am I missing? I can't no game to talk with my kid, you know.
Yeah, Demon Slayer's all right. It kind of just depends on the season. Attack on Titan is definitely like the top tier right now. That's what everybody's going on with because they just released like their final episode and it was like 10 years in the making. Another one that's really hot right now is Jujutsu Kaisen. I like that one a lot too. It's a different premise, but it's pretty cool. And My Hero Academia, that one releases, it feels like every 2-3 years. It feels like I watch it for a little bit, then it's gone for like another year and a half. So those are the main ones I watch.
When you're not playing football and you're vegging out, all right, but you want to watch some sports, what are you watching other than football? Are you watching basketball? Are you watching hockey? Are you watch fights, MMA, boxing, golf, tennis?
I'll watch a little bit of soccer just because I'm trying to get into like European soccer because, it's a global sport. Like the passion they have for their teams is comparable to the passion that we have to ours. Like some of their games look like SEC games. You're like, wow, okay. They got their like Real Madrid or Barcelona. They got their stadium jumping. So I try to watch some of those games.
Do you follow NBA action at all? Are you a Hawks fan coming from that area? Are you somebody else? Or are you not really?
I used to follow it a lot more back during the Cavs Warriors era where they were battling every year. And because I like LeBron, like he's my favorite player. I used to follow it back then a little bit more. Like now, I kind of just wait to the playoffs, and then I'll see what's going on.
Like a lot of us.
Yeah. Make the playoffs now.
So Josh, too. Going back to your social, because I'm curious about the ink. I'm not a huge tattoo guy. I got a couple, and I have some of the Chinese symbols. Some of my friends bust my chops. Well, you don't even know what that means. I'm sure I saw you have looks pretty badass what you got on the chest.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you? I'm curious.
So I got 2 Japanese kanji, and one means sacrifice, and the other one means improvement. And I just got those, like, one, because they looked cool, 2, because those are kind of things I wanted to live by, like to improve every day, because the one that means improvement is kaizen, which is like a little bit of improvement every day. Also, I got them because like I like the Japanese language because I watch some anime and they're always listening to Japanese.
Yeah. So correction, not Chinese symbols, Japanese symbols. So I got to get up on that game. I'm telling you, I'm old. Mine's from the 90s. Okay, so they give me so much crap. So I gotta step up to your game. So I'm gonna get kanji tattoos, sacrifice, but I don't care. Don't let them give you a hard time, Josh. Just because you like the symbols. No, it means something. You stick to your guns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, he knows what he's got tattooed on his body. You don't even have a clue. You don't probably when you got it done. Did you go to Claim Jumper when you were in California? The restaurant Claim Jumpers?
No, I haven't been to that restaurant.
Oh, you missed out. Because you like the sweets, because you told us you like going to the place BJ's with the Claim Jumpers. They would bring a tray around after dinner, and the desserts on the tray, I swear, like a piece of cake would be this big. Like a roll of paper towels. It was nuts.
The portions are huge, yeah.
And Johnny Rockets. I used to love Johnny Rockets when I was out there. The Johnny Rockets on, I can't remember. It was on the corner of Rodeo Drive and something. I think it was Santa Monica maybe right there. You been to that one?
I haven't been to that one. The only Johnny Rockets I've been to so far is back in Atlanta, actually. It's at a mall near my house.
Oh, I had never seen a Johnny Rockets before I went to LA. So what is pregame? You're sitting in your locker, you're getting hyped up, you get your earbuds in. What's playing in the earbuds?
Usually I'll just have some Drake, some Yeet, or some Lil Baby. Like it doesn't really matter. I just kind of throw it on. I'm like, all right, I'm chilling like that because they also have music like in the locker room too, and some other people in their headphones. So like it's pretty like chaotic with all the sound going on, but just try to keep to myself in that little moment before the game.
All right, and let me ask you this: what's going on? Because you didn't start last week.
Oh no, I did not.
Okay. Are we starting this week? We're not sure yet, or is this just part of the process and trust the process?
No, I actually got hurt like 2 weeks ago and I had to get surgery. So like I'm like done for like the rest of the year.
Nobody told me this.
Yeah, like it's all good. I'm kind of just trying my best to get back out there, you know.
What kind of surgery? What'd you hurt? What'd you do?
It was on my knee. So
Oh no. All right.
Oh, you guys are banked.
Right,
So
man.
what's the rehab like?
right now I'm just doing a lot of quad stuff, trying to get my calf back right. Just it's gonna be just a lot of strengthening type stuff. So I'll be good for next season for sure.
That's good.
And we're going
I'm
to be
sure
at
just
FAU
listen
next
to those
season.
trainers,
Yes?
man. They know.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. It's hard with the transfer portal. I'm just learning, but guys are hopping all over the place and going here and going there. And I know Coach Prime definitely needs some defensive players on his team, but I don't want you hopping there, man. You're going to stay
you gotta
here, and we're going to fill that stadium up at some point.
Yeah, we will. We definitely will.
So I have to ask you this question because this is almost breaking news. We're almost breaking news here. What does an executive director of player engagement do? Do you know?
Oh yeah, Coach. Yeah, I guess I should call him Coach Carter now.
Yeah, tell everybody because I bet you half the people don't know because this really just kind of came out about an hour or so ago.
Yeah, so he'd been around the team for probably the last maybe month. He's like his role is really to like be a advisor to all of us because like he's been through college, he's been through the pros, he knows what's expected. He's worked at ESPN, he's been a broadcaster. He's just kind of a role model to teach us like what to do, what not to do, what different jobs, different teams like look for in terms of like your attire, your etiquette, how you're supposed to be as a player, and just how you're supposed to act as a professional. So he's really just engaging with all the players, trying to get us in the right headspace to engage with the outside world.
And this is Chris Carter, former NFL. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. He has a gold jacket.
All right, yeah, Chris Carter, Hall of Famer, Vikings. Who else? Play action. You're going to know. Who else did he play for?
Vikings, the one I can think of right now, the receiver.
Is that all he played for? Is the Vikings?
That's all I can think of. Stephen Luker. He's on this internet. Eagles. Okay.
Eagles from 87.
Well, that's right.
89.
That's when Buddy Ryan said all he does is catch touchdowns. So that's right.
Final question for Josh. Play action. Do you have one?
I actually was hoping to hear you tell me your high school rival because I know it's you went to, is it Marist High School? Was it?
Yeah. Marist.
Marist, thank you. Because I'm not from George, sorry. But
wait,
is it
French? Marist.
Marist. I got that Cajun in me, so it comes up. But who is it? Dunwoody or who's the main rival for you? I'm just curious.
Okay, so our main stated rival was St. Pius Catholic. They're probably about 3-4 miles down the road. We used to beat them up pretty good. I remember only losing to them like one time, but we got them back later that year. And Blessed Trinity wasn't a stated rivalry, but as good as both of us were, like being private schools in 4A, they ended up being a rival, and they're one of the rivals that we couldn't beat. Like they won the state championship our freshman, sophomore, junior year, and we finally won senior year. So that still like stings because we had the talent to beat them, but sometimes it didn't happen.
All right, last thing for me, nickname. Any nicknames that I need to know of? Any old ones, new ones? What do you got?
People just call me Josh. My teammate Draco calls me J Money, and some people used to call me J Mo before J Mo came to the team.
Yeah.
But you could fight him for that because J-Mo has like 30 different nicknames. He's like Apollo Creed from the Rocky movies. J-Mo, Quattro Show. Baby J. There were some other ones. He rattled off a whole bunch of nicknames that he had, but now he's Quattro Show. What is it about Florida and what is it about FAU that made you come here, and what is it that you're really digging about the program, the school, the coach, the team, whatever? What is it that you? Is it I remember what J-Mo said. He said the palm trees, because I love the palm trees. I don't ever want to leave the palm trees. And I said okay. And I forget, where was J-Mo from? He's from
Texas.
Texas. That's right. Yeah, Texas.
East Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So FAU for me, it's really just the environment. You got Boca Raton here, the beach, 1.8, 2 miles away. The people, you got people from all over the world that want to come here. It's just kind of the perfect storm. You got FAU just right here.
Have you had the tacos El Carbone over by the bookstore?
Oh, the green, is that the green food truck thing?
Yeah, the little taco truck that's over.
Yeah, I've had that. I think
Do you
twice,
like them?
3 times. Yeah, they're cool. The things are. I think the thing I got was spicy as heck though. I was there, like eyes watering. I'm like, oh man.
They have these tacos El Carbone all over the area. Like that's a sort of, it's not a franchise. One person owns it, but the main one is in Lake Worth. It's a truck. It's an old beat up bus. And then they have another, like a restaurant. And then they're in Miami. They're in Wellington. If you're having a birthday party, maybe you give them a few bucks, they'll show up at the birthday party, Tacos Carbone. And I have friends that come to town and I take them there. And they love Tacos Carbone. When they come back, they're like, we have to go to the taco place. And I got a restaurant for you. You live on campus or around campus?
Yeah, I live on campus.
Okay. Well, there's a place in Boynton called Two Georges.
Two Georges?
Yeah, it's on the Intercoastal in Boynton. I'd love to. So 2 things I'm going to say to you on the air, because everybody I've said this to, and some are getting back to me. NIL. Yes, I would like to contact you if you say it's okay. I would like to contact you about some NIL stuff with us. I got multiple companies. And B, I would love to. We have a nice studio in Boynton, so I would love to get all, because I can't. It's like, seriously, like you have a lot of brothers or sisters?
I just have one sister.
One sister. Okay, and that's it? Just one sister?
Yep.
All right, so this question won't work for you, but they say, and I have one daughter. And like, I could not imagine loving anybody more than I love my daughter. So like, if I had 2 kids, I'm kind of like, wow, what would I do? So I have dogs. I'm a big dog guy. And it's like,
ones you kick and everything?
Yeah, you don't kick my dogs, bro. I kick my kid before I kick my dogs. I love my dogs. And I'm not kicking my kid because I love her more than anything. But you know what? I totally lost where I was going with this whole freaking thing. So it doesn't make it.
You're talking about the studio.
No, yeah, you guys. I don't know who. We don't know who. If we had to vote, who was the favorite FAU player that we got to interview? And I don't like to call these interviews. I feel like we're just having conversations more than interviews. But we enjoyed having you. But we've enjoyed having everyone. So I would love to have the whole group of you guys that came on at some point. And I don't know what all the NCAA rules are, but I'd like to take all you guys to Two Georges for dinner to show my appreciation and give you guys T-shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff for coming on. But I'd love that. We would love to have you back. We're switching. We're pretty big. If at least follow us back and check out some of our stuff.
Okay.
Definitely NIL. And we're switching in a couple of weeks. We're going to Monday to Thursday nights on actual like streaming radio. which
Getting big.
it's national. It's a big time thing. We're hooked up with some big time people. So I'd love to have you back on in the future. I want to help you fill the stadium. I want to. Obviously, you're still going to be at the game this week, right?
I'll see if I can make it. I don't think I'll be able to be on the sidelines because I'm on crutches. So.
Okay. All right. Well, here's my prediction for the game this week. It's going to be close. It's going to be a really close game. Whether you guys are up or down, and I'm hoping you guys are up. That's what I'm pulling for. But I watched them last week, and then I went back and I did a little research on Tulane. All of their games are close. And I know that they're ranked, 18 or 20, but I don't know, man. I wasn't really
worried about Tulane. They're so used to playing below sea level. When they get to Florida, it's going to be playing in Bronco land. The altitude's going to be so different. Whatever. I think you got this, man. Tulane, whatever. Don't look past them.
I think so. But, man, we had a great time with you. I will reach out to you, especially since you're not playing or practicing now. I'll reach out to you in the next few days about NIL.
Okay.
And, hopefully you enjoyed it, and if we have you back again in the future.
Cool. Check out Chase Brooks later if you want to watch this guy knows about Muay Thai, Josh, and you might learn something I am. So
yeah, Chase is having issues getting on right now. So Tom,
you are phenomenal, Josh. Like #1 safety in my book. So appreciate you, brother.
Hey, whoa. Are you gonna let J-Mo hear that?
Oh
yeah.
He's Quattro Show. He's different.
You guys were tight.
I know.
Thanks for coming on. I will be in touch. We appreciate it. Hopefully you had a good time, and we wish you speedy recovery.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too.